जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरंग गंधर्विका गिरिधारी जीव की जय। जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरंग शिशि राधा मदन मोहन पंचतत्त्वात्मक श्री गौर हरि की जय। जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरंग शिशि राधा नयननाथ जीव की जय। जय श्री गौर नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। जय श्री जगन्नाथ देव की जय। जय नित्यलीला परिस्तोम विष्णुपाद परमहंस सतरशिला भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। जय नित्यलीला परिस्तोम विष्णुपाद परमहंस सतरशिला भक्ति दैत माधव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। जय नित्यलीला परिस्तोम विष्णुपाद परमहंस सतरशिला भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। जय श्रीला गौर किशोर दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। जय श्रीला सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। जय वैष्णव सार्वभौम शिला जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। जय श्री रूपानुग गुरुवर की जय। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वासुदेव गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपी गोवर्धन वृंदावन श्री राधा कुंद श्याम कुंद आत्मक श्री ब्रजमंडल की जय। जय श्री नवद्वीप धाम की जय। जय श्री पुरुषोत्तम धाम की जय। जय श्री वृंदा देवी तुलसी देवी की जय। जय सर्व विघ्न विनाशनकारी श्री नृसिंह देव की जय। जय श्रीला गोपाल भट्ट गोस्वामी तिरुवाप्ति पूजा महामहोत्सव की जय। जय श्री राधा रमन जीव की जय। जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। जय समागत भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। गौर परमानंदे हरि बोल। वंदे हम श्री गुरु श्री जुता पादा कमला श्री गुरु वैष्णव वांश्च श्री रूपम साग्रजाता सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तां सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितंश्च जय अनिलो प्रेमधनो करुणा प्राचुर हेन प्रभु कथा गेला आचार्य ठाकुर काहा मोर सारूप रूप काहा सनाता काहा दास रघुनाथ पतिता पावन काहा मोर भाता जुग काहा कबिराज एक काले कथा गेला गौरनाथाराज पाषाणे कुतिब माथा অনলে শিব গৌরাঙ্গ গুণেরনিধি কথা গেলে পাব সেসব সঙ্গীর সঙ্গে যে কইল বিলাস সে সঙ্গানা পাইয়া কাঁদে নারোত্তম দাস যে আনিল প্রেমাধানা করুণা প্রাচুর হেন প্রভু কথা গেলা আচার্য ঠাকুর জয় বৈষ্ণব 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 ঠাকুর বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর জয় বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর শ্রী কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু নিত্যানন্দ শ্রী অদ্বৈত গদাধর শ্রীবাসাদি গৌর ভক্তবৃন্দ শ্রী কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু নিত্যানন্দ শ্রী অদ্বৈত গদাধর শ্রীবাসাদি গৌর ভক্তবৃন্দ শ্রী কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু নিত্যানন্দ শ্রী অদ্বৈত গদাধর শ্রীবাসাদি গৌর ভক্তবৃন্দ শ্রী কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু নিত্যানন্দ শ্রী অদ্বৈত গদাধর শ্রীবাসাদি গৌর ভক্তবৃন্দ হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে হরি Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. One second, I have to put to silent. Today is very auspicious day, Disappearance Day of Gopal Bhatta Goswami, one of the 6 Goswamis, our gurus. Our Gurudev wrote his biography. Ananga Manjari Yasit Sadhya Gopala Bhattaka Bhatta Goswaminam Kechit Ahu Shri Guna Manjarim. She, who was formerly Ananga Manjari, has appeared to enrich Mahaprabhu's pastimes as Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Some say that Gopal Bhatta is actually Guna Manjari, Gaur Ganodesh Deepika. Like in this world, different people may have same name. Like here, this Ananga Manjari, this is not the same as that Baladeva Gopi Ananga Manjari. This is another, only same name. And if Guna Manjari, that is also, you will find our Srila Gaur Das Babaji Maharaj, he is Guna Manjari in Golokalila, but they are different persons, only same name. How Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he knows that Gaur Das Babaji Maharaj is Guna Manjari. He told to Srila Bhakti Rakshidhar Dev Goswami Maharaj that he is Guna Manjari. How he knows this? Some people, they cannot understand this, how this is possible, but it is because he is a realized soul, and this is coming from Golok Vrindavan and Gaur Das Babaji Maharaj also. So they know each other, but some people who are not realized souls and they cannot understand, they cannot know this. Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami appeared in 1500 AD, our counting, or some others say 1503, as the son of Venkata Bhatta in the town of Sri Rangam in South India. Their residence was in a village not far from Sri Rangam called Belgundi on the banks of river Kaveri. Kaveri is one of the most sacred rivers in India. According to Bhakti Ratnakar, Mahaprabhu gave Gopal Bhatta a dream vision through which he could witness all of his Navadip pastimes. Though Gopal Bhatta Goswami was an eternal associate of Krishna, he appeared in a faraway place in order to make a special contribution to Lord Gauranga's pastimes. Thus, even though he was living too far away to know anything about the Lord directly, he was still able to know long before he met the Lord in person that he had appeared and taken sannyas. Bengalis up, and this is most south portion of India, Sri Rangam, but he was able to know. Gopal Bhatta did not particularly like the Lord's appearance as a sannyasi. No Gauriya Vaishnava likes they like Navadip Mahaprabhu with long hair, curly hair, as a householder and doing Nama Sankirtan. That is like Krishna in Vrindavan. But when Krishna goes out to Mathura and Dwaraka, that is not the same as Vrindavan Krishna. He goes to kill demons like this. So like that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he took sannyas, he went out to preach. But devotees, they like that Navadip, Gaurango, and in Nitya Lila, that in Golok Vrindavan, one prakosht, one chamber of Goloka is Vrindavan Lila, Radha Krishna Lila. So there Ashtakala Lila is going on, eightfold pastimes of Radha Krishna during the day with Radharani, that is Krishna and all Brajavasis. And another chamber in Goloka, that is Audarya, munificent, that is Navadip Lila. So Navadip Lila of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also has eightfold pastimes. Like we are hearing about Krishna Lila, that is Mahaprabhu also doing. He wakes up, then he takes meal and worships Supreme Lord, and then he's doing kirtan with devotees, and the rest, everything is there, Gaur Lila. So Gauriya devotees, those who are worshipping both, they also get two swarupas, or means they are one and same person, but they manifest two swarupas, two spiritual bodies, as expansion to serve in both lilas. So this austere form, sannyas form, distressed Gopal Bhatta, who was thus crying alone when the Lord appeared to him and gave him this vision of his pastimes in Navadip. He then took Gopal Bhatta on his lap and drenched him with tears. That is why Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he saw that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was visiting Navadip, that side, Kulia, after taking sannyas, only one time he came, not Mayapur. He did not go to Mayapur because mother and wife are there. But Sridhar Maharaj, he also came to Mayapur in front of that house and only gave padukas to Vishnu Priya Devi. So she came to bow down and he gave padukas. But the thing is, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he expressed that mood. I want to take this sannyasi, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, back to Mayapur as a householder. Like we know Ratha Yatra, from Kurukshetra or Dwaraka, gopis, they want to bring Krishna to Vrindavan. Like that, Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted to bring Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Navadip, Mayapur, as a household. That is Navadip Ratha Yatra in Gaur Lila. So he showed him. Gopal Bhatta did not directly see, but he saw in his heart. In that transcendental vision, Navadip Lila he saw. Like Vrindavan Das Thakur also saw. By the grace of Nityananda, he saw and he wrote Chaitanya Bhagavat based on that. Vyasadeva also saw in his heart all Krishna Lila and he wrote down. So like that, we also have to get that realization in transcendental, that samadhi. And even now, if you go to Navadip, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu means Gaurango Mahaprabhu is doing his pastimes there now also. But only those who are fortunate, who have transcendental eyes, they can see. Like in Vrindavan, Krishna now is doing Lila. The Lord then embraced Gopal Bhatta and drenched him with his tears. He then told Gopal to keep all these revelations a secret. Gopal Bhatta's mind was absorbed in a state of intense joy. These realizations we should not speak here and there, because people cannot understand and they will misuse it. In 1510, Mahaprabhu made his auspicious entrance to the pilgrimage city of Srirangam. He was invited by Venkata Bhatta, a Vaishnava of the Sri Sampradaya, to spend the 4 months of the Chaturmasya in his house. Knowing him to be a strict Vaishnava, Mahaprabhu accepted his invitation. Means no anti-devotional activities going on, no sinful activities, and cooking pure vegetarian and offering to Supreme Lord. No onion, garlic, these things. And no other sinful activities going on in house. So Mahaprabhu accepted. In fact, the Lord's pastime of coming to Srirangam and staying at Venkata Bhatta's home was to give his mercy to Gopal Bhatta and his family, for the Lord knew that Gopal Bhatta, his eternal companion from Vrindavan, had appeared there. At this time, Gopal Bhatta was still a young boy. He was fortunate enough to be able to serve the Lord by massaging his feet. Even though he was satisfied with Venkata Bhatta and his family's service, the Lord observed that Venkata Bhatta had an element of pride in his object of worship. He believed that his worshipable deity, Lakshmi Narayan, was the supreme worshipable object, that Narayan was the source of all other avatars, including Krishna, Ram, and Nrsimha. His reasoning was that Narayan is never born, while Krishna and Rama take birth in the world. He thus thought Mahaprabhu worships Krishna, the avatar of Narayan, while we worship Narayan, the source of all avatars. Because that was his reasoning. But it is not according to Shastra. If you go to the ultimate Shastra, Srimad Bhagavatam, then you can know that Krishna is the avatari. All others are his avatars. So reasoning is not enough. The reasoning which supports Shastra can be accepted. But Siddhanta is given in Shastra. You cannot by reasoning make your own conclusion. No. Shastra Siddhanta is correct. As Madhusudan is the destroyer of false pride, Mahaprabhu finally decided one day that he would do so for Venkata Bhatta. This was false pride because it is coming from false reasoning. He asked him in a mild-humored, witty tone, Venkata Bhatta, I hear that no one is equal in opulence to your Lord Narayan. The same is true for your worshipable goddess Lakshmi Devi. On the other hand, the object of my worship, Krishna, has no opulence of any kind. He wears garlands of wild forest flowers and uses peacock feathers for decoration. He is the son of Nanda Gopa and spends his day grazing the cows with the other cowherd boys. My worshipable goddesses, the gopis, are also nothing but poor cowherd girls. I wonder, therefore, why your worshipable Lakshmi Devi came to Vrindavan to perform austerities in the hope of gaining Krishna's company in the rasa dance. She is so opulent, then why she came to Krishna and want to enter those pastimes? That is very poor. Venkata Bhatta immediately answered, what is wrong with that? Radha's beloved Krishna is not different from Lakshmi Devi's husband Narayan. Siddhantatas Tvabeda pi Shrisha Krishna Sarupayo. Rasanot Krishyate Krishna Rupam Esha Rasa Stiti. Though according to theological doctrine, means Siddhanta, Krishna and the husband of Lakshmi Narayan are identical in essence. The form of Krishna is superior when analyzed from the point of view of divine sentiment. Since the divine sentiment in Krishna is superior, there is no fault if Lakshmi Devi chooses to seek his association and performs austerities to that end. this is one verse which says, according to neutral standpoint, that Krishna is superior according to rasa, from neutral standpoint. But we have another verse from Hanuman, Shri Nate Janaki Nate Paramatma cha Aveda cha Paramatmani Kintu Sarvasva Mama Sarvasva Rama Kamala Lochanam. Hanuman said, I know that Srinath means Narayan or Krishna. Srinath means can be of Radharani, Nath or Narayan, and Janakinath. Janakinath is Ramchandra, means the master of Sita. I know there is no difference. Chabede Paramatmani. Both are supreme Lord, Paramatma. I know. Kintu Mama Sarvasvam Rama Kamalochan. But for me, the lotus-eyed Ramachandra is everything for me. That is according to subjective rasa. Each devotee feels his rasa is the best and his object of worship is the best. And Krishna also feels the best with that devotee in that rasa. There is no superior and lower, and there is no lack of anything. In Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Sanatana Goswami explained, no one feels any lack. Oh, I am devotee of Ramchandra. Krishna is superior, so I am missing something. No one feels like that. Because once you attain that transcendental rasa, you are fully satisfied in whatever rasa you are. And Krishna is fully. Then their question, Narad is asking why Krishna is not giving highest to all. Because Krishna has unlimited kinds of varieties of leelas, so he has also unlimited varieties of servants, and no one is feeling any deficit, like any wanting more. No, everyone is satisfied. Mahaprabhu answered, I am not saying that there is any fault. I agree that ontologically Krishna and Narayana are identical. The difference between them is based on the variety of rasa. When the Lord performs pastimes of opulence, he is Narayan. When he performs pastimes of sweetness, he is Krishna. She who is Radha in Krishna's pastimes is Lakshmi Devi in the pastimes of Narayan. Thus, when Lakshmi Devi performs austerities to have the association of Krishna, there is no question of her breaking her vows of fidelity, means chastity, to her husband. So it is not that she became unchaste, because she went to same person. So I'm not saying there is any disfault. Thus, she went to perform these austerities in Vrindavan. But I have another question for you. Why, even after trying so hard, through such penances, etc., to enter Krishna's Rasa Lila, was Lakshmi Devi still unable to do so? Venkata Bhatta was terribly distressed at being unable to give the Lord an answer. Mahaprabhu observed his distress and tried to pacify him by saying, You yourself said that Narayan and Krishna are identical ontologically, but that the superiority of Krishna is due to the excellence in rasas. Narayan is involved in 2.5 of the 5 principal rasas, whereas in Krishna there is a complete manifestation of all 12 rasas, the 5 principal and 7 secondary rasas. Since Narayan's pastime is primarily one of opulence and majesty, his principal devotee is Lakshmi Devi, who also worships him in the appropriate mood of awe and reverence. The same Lakshmi Devi is Radhika in order to heighten the experience of conjugal love. Unless one follows in the footsteps of Radha and her expansions, the gopis, who are the repositories of the transcendental divine love, it is impossible to relish Krishna's sweet qualities. Lakshmi Devi, however, did not follow in the gopis' footsteps, but continued to perform her austerities in the mood of awe and reverence. As a result, she repeatedly found herself in the company of Narayan and never in that of Krishna. Because according to your mood, that kind of form Krishna will manifest. You remember there in Govardhan, Paitagram, Krishna became Narayan, but when Radharani came, he could not hold his form as Narayan. He became Krishna. Or when Krishna was in Kurukshetra, that solar eclipse, when Jashoda called him Gopal, 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 he came as a small boy to her and sat on her lap. He did not keep that form of Dwaraka like king. So whatever devotee has that bhav, that kind of form Krishna manifests. That is why Madhurya Lila and Vatsalya Lila cannot happen at the same time. Even in Vrindavan, that is only Nandanan Krishna, but according to different rasas, he exhibits different form. In front of gopis, in front of Jashoda, cowherd boys, different, servants. So, that is why that Madhurya Lila is not happening when Jashoda is present. In front of her, both Radharani and Krishna are like a child, and she's having Vatsalya bhav for both. So, because she did not accept Gopi bhav, Lakshmi Devi, she could not get the service of Krishna and Ras Lila. By way of contrast, the Shrutis, that is the Upanishads, follow the gopis in the Raga Marga and so were ultimately able to achieve Krishna's service in that mood. As long as one continues to think of Krishna in majestic terms as Lord and Controller, one cannot possibly worship in the spirit of Raganuga Bhakti. Raganuga Bhakti means those who are Brajavasis, they have rag for Krishna, attachment, special attachment, very deep attachment, absorption in him, and not in the mood of his God, but in some 5 different types of moods. So if someone sees that mood or hears about it and desires to attain that mood, that practice which he will take for getting that mood or developing that mood, that is called Raga Anuga. Raganuga means following that Raga. So this process is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give to Jivas now in this world, because he is most munificent, like Narayan is most opulent, Krishna is most sweet, Ramachandra is ethical, Mahaprabhu is most merciful, because he is giving the highest thing to most fallen, all people of Kali Yuga. So that Raga mark is, Raganuga is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give. But there are stages of practice. First, we have to do service of Krishna under the guidance of Shastra and Guru, but those practices which are leading to Vrindavan. Like Rupa Goswami wrote in Upadeshamrita, you should hear about Krishna's name, form, attributes, pastimes and chant. This will purify your heart, then you will get taste. Before you cannot get taste because of ignorance. But we are doing this kind of, like we are chanting Mahamantra, that is Radha Krishna mantra. We are chanting Diksha mantras, those Krishna mantra and Kam Gayatri and Gaurango. and Guru in relation to Krishna. And also on the altar we are keeping Radha Krishna, and we are singing song Mangalarati, Kishora Kishori. Everything is in a regulated manner, but leading to that. Then when your heart will be purified, then also you will get from Gurudev, he will appear in that spiritual form, he will also give that internal sadhana, internal seva, how to serve from your spiritual form in the Radha Krishna Lila, what kind of service to do there. So both external sadhana with this physical body, hearing, chanting, worshipping, sadhu sangha, all these things, that is in this sadhak deha, form of sadhak practitioner, and within also in your siddha deha you will do that seva when you will become qualified and Guru will give. So this is the process given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is Raganuga Bhakti, and will take you to Vrindavan. Otherwise you cannot. Lakshmi cannot enter there. Mahaprabhu said, Krishna has one extraordinary characteristic. By his sweetness he attracts the minds of the entire world. By taking on the mood of the Braja Gopis, one can attain to his lotus feet. The people of Braja have no idea that Krishna is the Lord and controller. Some think of him as their son and even tie him to a mortar, while others, that is Jashoda, ties him to mortar to discipline him. How you can do this to God? They cannot think about this in Vaikuntha. While others take him to be their friend and climb on his shoulders. This also how you can put feet on God, Supreme Lord. The people of Braja only know him as the son of Nanda, whereas in the attitude of awe and reverence, the devotee does not have a concept of such a relationship with him. One who takes the attitude of a resident of Braja will attain Krishna as the son of the king of Braja in Vrindavan. One who takes the attitude of a resident of Braja, that is in Raganuga. We are hearing during Kartik Brata about this point. One is Archan Mark, another is Bhajan Mark. So in Bhajan Mark you get that intimate, sweet, delightful relation with Krishna, that identity, Siddha Deho, Pancham Shlokate Nija Siddha Deho Gora, you get. Then you can attain Krishna in Vrindavan. Also, this is one example, the Upanishads. They accepted Gopi Bhav and got. And another example is those rishis who were in the forest during the time of Ramachandra Bhagavan. They were worshipping Supreme Lord, and when they saw Ramchandra, they wanted to serve him in consorthood relation, in Maduras. But Ramchandra said, not in this Leela, but by my blessing, you will be born in Krishna Leela in Dwapar Yuga, there you will get. So they got also Gopi forms by the grace of Ramchandra. When the Gopis, the objects of my worship, were abandoned by Krishna in the Rasa dance, they began to cry in the intensity of their distress at not seeing him. Krishna came to them in the form of Narayan, but the Gopis simply paid their obeisances and moved on in search of Krishna, showing absolutely no interest in him as a lover. When Radharani stood before the disguised Krishna, however, he could not maintain the four-armed form, but once again appeared in his form as the holder of the flute. Such is the power of Radharani's love. If you read Brihad Bhagavatamrita, which is the first book of the six Goswamis written by Sanatana Goswami, there Gopakumar is chanting Krishna mantra he got from Guru, but no any other instruction, no meaning, nothing. Only he was chanting. Then he was taken to different realms in this universe, and then Biraja, then Brahmajyoti, Vaikuntha, Ayodhya, everywhere he went, Dwaraka. But he was not satisfied fully. He was satisfied for the time being where he was and worshipping, but then something was missing for him. Then Narad made arrangement, and always he could go like further. Then when he was in Vaikuntha, like topmost, then there also he was feeling something missing. Then the Vishnu Dutas, they told him, you have to go to Vrindavan, forgetting that what you desire. But there you cannot enter with this mantra. You will have to do Nama Sankirtan. Nama Sankirtan you have to do. Then he could enter into Vrindavan. Because in Vrindavan, it is like this free relation, not in awe and reverence, with obeisance and everything. So Maha Mantra is this Raga Marg. Maha Mantra is calling. And those mantras, they are in offering, in dative case. But here it is calling. So this Maha Mantra will take you to Golok Vrindavan. That is why Srila Bhakti Goswami Maharaj explained, Harinam is most merciful, can go down to any fallen soul. Only he needs faith, and he can start chanting. Then that Harinam will purify him. Then he can also take those mantras for worship of deity and for further purification and surrender and all this. But ultimately, also that mantra will have to retire. Then free expression will come in the form of name, calling. Then that Harinam will take you to Braja. Also Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he wrote in one commentary to Chaitanya Charitamrita that by chanting mantra you will become freed from false ego, and you will get that real ego and experience of transcendental realm and everything. And then you will take shelter of Harinam in liberated stage in one of the 5 rasas. Then that will take you there. Free expression. There will be no other formalities of the mantra there. Only free expression. But for conditioned souls, that is helpful. It is assisting those things. So that is why gurus also they give for assisting, but it is not absolutely necessary. Only by Maha Mantra also you can get everything. So that is Raga Marg, Nam, Harinam. This Dikshama, that is Pancharatriki for worship. So they such is the power of Radharani's love. Krishna could not maintain his Narayan form. Nandan Krishna is the avatari or source of all avatars. Narayan, Ram, Nrishinga, etc. are all his avatars and expansions. Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Only the Personality of Godhead, the source of all other divinities, is eligible to be designated Swayam Bhagavan or the primeval Lord. In this is from Chaitanya Charitamrita and verse from Bhagavatam, Ete Chanksha Kalapungsha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrare Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuga Yuga. All of the previously mentioned forms of the Lord, Kurma, Matsya, Varaha, are either plenary expansions or partial expansions of plenary expansions. But Krishna alone is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear in every age to protect the saints whenever the enemies of the gods disturb them, means demigods. Srimad Bhagavatam. You will find actually it is Gopal Bhatta Gosvami. Okay, I will tell later if I remember when we will come to this topic. through the power of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's merciful association, Venkata Bhatta, his brother Prabodhananda Saraswati, he was sannyasi in Ramanuja Sampradaya. His son Gopal Bhatta Goswami and all the other members of his family were inspired to give up the worship of Lakshmi Narayan and became engaged in the exclusive devotional service of Radha and Krishna. Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami took initiation from his uncle Tridandi Jati Srimad Prabodhananda Saraswati. Proof of this is found in the Hari Bhakti Vilas. Bhakter Vilasam Chinute Prabodhanandasya Shishyo Bhagavat Priyasya Gopala Bhatto Raghunatha Dasam Santoshayan Rupa Sanatano Cha. I, Gopal Bhatta, the disciple of Prabodhananda Saraswati, who is dear to the Lord, have compiled these most essential and glorious devotional doctrines to satisfy Raghunath Das Goswami, Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. It's from Hari Bhakti Vilas. The point is, if one already attained his rasa in transcendental realm, then there can be no change. But he did not yet. They were worshipping Narayan, but he had some false ego still. So it was possible to purify that, and by the grace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they all became worshippers of Radha Krishna, all family. This Prabodhananda Saraswati, he was already sannyasi in Ramanuja Sampradaya, having Tridanda. Tridanda is mentioned in Shastra, Skanda Puran and others, also Bhagavatam. So that is existing from Anadi Kal. It is in Shastra. And when he became Gauriya Vaishnava, he did not give up that sannyas. He was still sannyasi. And he is very famous for writing those, especially that book Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi, that is fully about Manjari Bhap, about service to Radharani. But he was a sannyasi for him. Because they say, wow, sannyas, only Babaji. But Prabhupada also, he took sannyas for all the reasons I already told many times, and based on Ramanuja's tradition, like this Prabodhananda Saraswati. The only difference is they have only 3 sticks and only with the rope tied in 3 or 4 places, but Prabhupada made it like fully covered with that saffron cloth from bottom to up. That is only, but otherwise that all procedure, everything. And it is coming in Gopal Bhatta Goswami's Satkriya Sar Dipika, Samskara Dipika, about taking sannyas and sannyas mantra, everything. Because that is from that tradition. Gopal Bhatta's parents were very fortunate, for they surrendered themselves, life and soul, to the feet of Lord Chaitanya. They ordered their son to go to Vrindavan before they left this world, absorbed in meditating on the Lord. Gopal Bhatta Goswami traveled directly to Vrindavan, where he met with Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. Generally, if parents are devotees, then children will stay with them till they leave this world for service. But in this case, they gave him permission. Now you can go already to Vrindavan. But son of Tapan Mishra, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, he was ordered by Mahaprabhu, you stay with your parents until they leave body. Then you go Vrindavan. When Gopal Bhatta Goswami arrived in Vrindavan, Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami wrote to Mahaprabhu to tell him. The Lord was overjoyed and immediately wrote back telling them to affectionately take care of him as though he were their own younger brother. Srila Sanatan Goswami compiled the Hari Bhakti Vilas and published it in Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami's name. Rupa Goswami considered Gopal Bhatta to be as dear to him as his own life and engaged him in the worship of the Radha Raman deity. Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami became one of the 6 Goswamis, but he always kept an attitude of meekness and humility. Thus, when Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami approached him for permission to write Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, he granted it, but under the condition that he not write about him. Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami could not go against the order of Gopal Bhatta, and thus did nothing more than mention his name. Jai Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath. This is coming from Kaviraj Goswami first. He said, these are my Shiksha Gurus. But no any Lila of Gopal Bhatta Goswami he wrote. Shri Jiva Goswami writes in the introduction to the Sat Sandarbha that he wrote it on the basis of an earlier text by Gopal Bhatta. Gopal Bhatta Goswami made some notes before about some topics and some verses, and they were not fully in order like this. So Jiva Goswami told, I will make it in order and also give some more evidences and topics and like this, but it is based on the work of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So this is Sat Sandarbha, that is 6 Sandarbhas. Sandarbha means compilation, or that some very important topics are discussed and the ontological meaning is given there like this. So before we heard that verse, Ete Changshakala, first you have to read Tattva Sandarbha. That is, what is the evidence? Means Vedic scripture is the evidence about that which is transcendental. And among all Vedic scriptures, Bhagavatam is the best. That is point of Tattva Sandarbha. Then Bhagavat Sandarbha you have to read next. There Jiva Goswami is explaining about Brahman and Bhagavat Tattva, Bhagavan, and refuting Mayavat philosophy, that Brahman is superior. He's refuting and giving all Tattva, including some Paramatma Tattva. Then in the third Sandarbha, there is a description, full description of Paramatma. That is Paramatma Sandarbha, about 3 Vishnus. Karanadakashai, Garbhodakashai, and Kshirodakashai. And because Jiva is also coming from Karanadakashai Mahavishnu, it is called Paramatma Vaibhava, opulence of Paramatma, of that Vishnu. So Jiva Tattva is also given in Paramatma Sandarbha. Full discussion of Jiva Tattva, and that is based on Jamatri Muni from Ramanuja Sampradaya and also from Padma Purana. That all evidences, and that Narad Pancharatra also about Tatashta Shakti Jiva. Then next one you have to read Krishna Sandarbha. So in Krishna Sandarbha, full book is about explaining this point. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. First there is only Tattva, what is Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. And then Jiva Goswami is proving that Krishna is the original Bhagavan, based on Shastra. Then next you have to read Bhakti Sandarbha. Now this was Sambandha Tattva, relation. Then what to do? That is Bhakti Sandarbha. There are so many kinds of Bhakti described. Arop Siddha, Sangha Siddha, Sarup Siddha, Rajasik, Tamasik, Nirguna, with mix, this, so many. Ultimately it comes to Raganuga. Raganuga is topmost. Means pure devotion of Vrindavan, he is explaining. And then last Sandarbha is Priti Sandarbha, explaining about the ultimate goal of life. What are different goals jivas may have, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, and then prema is highest, and then so many different kinds of attainments, and ultimate attainment is that Vrindavan. So this is 6 Sandarbhas. They're all based on Gopal Bhatta Goswami's previous notes. So this point, Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam, it is according to Shastra, not sentimental Gauriya saying. He proved it is on Shastra. So this reasoning of Venkata Bhatta was not correct. That is why Mahaprabhu corrected him. Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami also wrote a book called the Satkriya Sardipika, Light on the Essential Sacraments for the Vaishnavas. Like you have in Varna Ashram Dharma samskaras, like before birth there is some sanskara you have to do before conception. Then after the child is born you have to do some sanskara, then name giving, first grain eating, then shaving, and then marriage and shrat, and so many sanskaras. But in Varna Ashram Dharma they are including worship of demigods. But Gopal Bhatta Goswami wrote for household devotees, those who are living in society, those who are worshippers of Radha Krishna, how they should do these samskaras based on the worship of Radha Krishna. There is also yagya, there is offering, there is so many things, for marriage also, all in relation to pure devotion to Radha Krishna. And then, thus his contribution to Gauriya Vaishnava literature was in editing the Hari Bhakti Vilas, preparing the notes for Jiva Goswami Sat Sandarbha, and in compiling the Sat Kriya Sardipika. And he wrote another one book, here it is not mentioned, Samskara Dipika, that is for renunciates. For samskara for renunciate, for taking sannyas. He also gave great joy to the community of devotees by writing a commentary on Bilva Mangal Thakur's Krishna Karnamrita. Amongst his disciples were Srinivasacharya and Sri Gopinath Pujari. The following story is told about Gopinath Pujari becoming Gopal Bhatta's disciple. One day Gopal Bhatta went to visit the town of Saharanpur, not far from Haridwar. On that occasion, a simple, devoted Brahmana engaged in his service in a most unpretentious manner. He had no children but desired to have a son. Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami knew the desire of the Brahmana and blessed him that he would have a devotionally minded male child. That is, all Brahmins, they, in order to continue their lineage of service to Narayan, that Shalagram worship and Brahminical duties like this, they are making child. And you will find in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, in last chapter, about that procedure for Brahmins how to have a child. All ritual and everything, and also what kind of child you want, you can also decide. And there is a mantra for this kind, for that kind, and what you have to give to eat to wife, or both. They will eat rice and ghee and something. It depends which kind of ritual you do, you will get such son or such daughter also. Everything is written in Shruti, means it is coming from Supreme. If that is real Brahmin doing, then it will work, because Krishna said like that. And there is also one option. If you don't want to have a child, what you have to do? Even he will release semen, but will not get a child. There is one procedure there. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, you will find. But you have to be Brahmin, and you have to know that procedure from that Guru Parampara, and then it will work. So he wanted to have a child, but for the service of Supreme Lord. That is why Gopal Bhatta Goswami he fulfilled. The Brahmana promised Gopal Bhatta that he would give him his first son to be his servant and disciple. This son was Gopinath Pujari. So from this Gopinath Pujari, this Radharaman family now, these Goswamis, Pundarik Goswami, Chandan Goswami, then there was Atulananda Goswami, all that Madhusudan or someone, they are now Pundarik Goswami is one famous. Vishwambarananda Goswami, Padmanabha Goswami is also now old. That family is coming from this Gopinath Pujari, because Gopal Bhatta Goswami was celibate, renunciate. But this Gopinath Pujari, he married, and from him that family is coming. It is said that Mahaprabhu had such affection for Gopal Bhatta that he sent him his own belt and kopin, as well as a wooden seat which he had used. These items are still worshipped in the Radharaman temple by the current sevaks. If you go there on some special days, they are showing this. When Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami was visiting the pilgrimage centers of northern India, he found a Shalagram Shila on the banks of the Gandaki river. He took the Shalagram Shila as Brajendra Nandan Krishna himself and worshipped him. One day he thought that if his Shalagram Shila were a deity, he could dress and decorate the Lord beautifully. On the very next day, he found that the Shalagram Shila had transformed into the Radharaman deity to fulfill the wish of his devotee. This deity stands alone without any form of Radha standing by his side. Instead, as a symbol of Radharani, a silver crown is placed on his left side. The story is also told in the following way. It is said that Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami used to daily worship 12 shalagramas. He developed a desire to serve the Lord in the form of a deity, thinking that in this way he would be able to worship him in a much better way. The Lord within his heart knew his feelings, and through a rich merchant had many beautiful items used in the worship of the deity, such as ornaments and clothes sent to him. Gopal Bhatta Goswami began to worry that all these beautiful objects could not be used properly unless the Shalagram Shila took a deity form. That night he put the Shalagramas to rest, and in the morning he saw that one of them had been transformed into the Radharaman, Sri Radharaman deity. When Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami heard that Krishna had so mercifully appeared to Gopal Bhatta, they immediately came with the other devotees for darshan, and when they saw him, they were ecstatic with love. The annual festival commemorating Radharaman's appearance, when he is bathed publicly, takes place on the full moon day of Vaishak. The Radharaman temple is considered one of the most important in Vrindavan. There are 7: Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Govinda, Radha Gopinath, then Radha Damodar, Radha Shyam Sundar, Radha Raman, and Radha Gokulananda. There are 7 most prominent, most known, most important. Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami ended his earthly pastimes on the Krishna Panchami of Ashar of Shak era, that is 1586 our counting. His Samadhi temple is behind the current Radharaman temple. By reading Srinivas Acharya's hymn to the 6 Goswamis, Shara Goswami Ashtakam, we can understand their glories. Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipuno Sadharma Sanstapako Lokanam hitakarino tribhuvane manyo sharanyakaro Radha Krishna gunosmriter madhurima Nandena mataliko Bande rupa sanatano raghujugo Shri Jiva Gopalako. There are 8 verses. Nana Shastra Vichara Naika Nipuno. They're expert in all Shastra. Nana Shastra Vichara, the teachings of Nana Shastra, many. Nana Shastra Vichara Naika Nipuno. Sadharma Sanstapako. They established this Sadharma, means eternal religion or eternal dharma. Sadharma Sanstapako. Lokanam hitakarino trivu, for the benefit of all. 3 words. Lokanam hitakarino tribhuvane manyo sharanyakaro. Radha Krishna gunosmriter madhurimanandenam. All the time remembering the sweet qualities of Radha Krishna. And they became intoxicated. Mataliko. Mata means like intoxicated by Radha Krishna gunosmriter, by remembering Radha Krishna's sweet qualities. Radha Krishna gunosmriter Madan Bande rupa sanatana. And Shankya Purvaka Nama Gana Natibi Kalava Sanikrito. All the time chanting fixed number, doing dandavats fixed number, singing songs fixed, and Shankya Purvaka Nama Gana Nativi Kalava Sanikrito. All the time. Kalava Sanikrito. Nidra Hara Vihara Kadivijito. They conquered, by this practice, they conquered sleep and eating and working, recreation. No need for them. Or it was like very minimal. Vijito Chatyanta Dino Chajo. All day and night they were doing. And again, Radha Krishna Guno Madhuri Manandena. That again something with Radha Krishna similar is there. So they are not ordinary persons. They showed by example who are Gauriya Vaishnavas, followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how they did bhajan. We cannot imitate them, but we have to follow in their footsteps how they did. What Jiva Goswami wrote, Siddhanta, in 6 Sandarbhas, and also in his commentary to Bhagavatam. That is 7th Sandarbha. It is called Krama Sandarbha. Many parts from 6 Sandarbhas also he used in Bhagavatam explanation. What Siddhanta he gave, that is perfect. And what Baladev Vidyabhushan wrote, that is same as Jiva Goswami he wrote in commentary to Vedanta Sutra and Siddhanta Ratnam, Prameya Ratnavali, all these books, he is same. And what Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave in his books, Chaitanya Shikshamrita, Jaiva Dharma, and other books, that is same as what Jiva Goswami and Baladev Vidyabhushan wrote. This is Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur. He wrote in one devotee was asking him, or one person, he came and he spoke, and he said, it is not so easy to understand Jiva Goswami Sanskrit, and Baladev Vidyabhushan Siddhanta is same, but it is not so easy to understand. So, out of mercy, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur expressed that same Siddhanta in a more simple Bengali language. So, he recommended you read Bhaktivinoda Thakur's books. You will get everything. If you read Jaiva Dharma, those first chapters up to 26th, that's all Siddhanta, what he's giving there. Achintya Beda, Beda, then Jiva Tattva, Shakti Tattva, everything. Everything is based on Jiva Goswami Satsandarbha and quoting Upanishads and everything, Vedantas, everything. That is same, completely same, and also in the form of story. And then what he wrote in Abhideya Tattva, that is based on Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And then after Rasa Tattva also, that is based on also Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and Ujjwal Nilamani in the end. So if you only read Jaiva Dharma, then it is same as you read the Siddhanta of all Goswamis, 6 Goswami Siddhanta. You will find there in simple language. Not all like evidences from scripture, so many given examples like Goswamis they give, but Siddhanta you will get from Bhaktivinoda Thakur. But if you want to know then more in expanded way and with all the examples, everything, then you can read Satsandarbha and other Brihad Bhagavatamrita. There also Siddhanta is there, some parts, some Lila, some Siddhanta. So today is Gopal Bhatta Goswami's Disappearance Day. I am remembering his Samadhi Mandir there in Radharaman temple. We are going there during Parikrama and we used to sing this song there. Shara Goswami Ashtaka, Bande Rupa Sanatana Ragujugo, Shri Jiva Gopalako. So I'm bowing down to his lotus feet and praying for his causeless mercy to bestow pure devotion to his lotus feet and the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Radha Krishna. Hariharaya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Nama Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Govindaram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Ei Choi Gosair Kori Charana Bandon Jaha Hoite Vignona Shabishta Puran Ei Choi Gosai Jar Muitarodas Tasavara Padarino Mora Panchagras Tadera Charana Sebi Bhakta Sonevas Janame Hoye Obhilas Ei Choi Gosai Jabe Braje Koilabas Radha Krishna Nita Lila Korila Prakash Anande Bolo Hori Bhaja Vrindavan Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majai Amon Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyash Nama Sankirtana Kohe Narotamodas Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Hari Bol Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gaurango Gandharvika Giridhari Ji ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gaurango Shri Radha Madan Mohan Panchadatatmak Shri Gaurahuri ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gaurango Shri Radha Nayananath Ji ki Jai. Jai Shri Radha Raman Ji ki Jai. Jai Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Jai Shri Jagannadev ki Jai. Jai Patit Pavan Shila Gurudev ki Jai. Jai Shila Parang Gurudev ki Jai. Jai Shila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Shri Rupanuga Guruvare ki Jai. Jai Shri Panchatattva Prabhu ki Jai. Jai Shri Brinda Devi Tulsi Devi ki Jai. Jai Sarva Vigna Vinashanakari Shri Nri Shingadev ki Jai. Jai Shri Srila Gopal Bhatta Gosvami Prabhu Tirvavtiti Puja Mahamahotsav ki Jai. Jai Anantakoti Vaishnava Brinda ki Jai. Jai Samagata Bhakta Brinda ki Jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Gaur Pramanande Hari Bol. Thank you all. Dandavad Pranam. Hari Bol.